Hey, so the last thing I was working on was making this whole thing extend. But if you were there to watch that last one, this is something way different. Not way different, but all these joints, connection pieces are a different color. Because I switched a bit. Why I have a different version now than to what I was doing before is a bit. So here's what kind of happened. I tested a new idea extending this whole thing again, bang, but then it was like, it worked. I was really happy. It was like so loud, very squeaky, and it just wasn't so smooth. So I was like, I just gotta upgrade the extending thingy to something better, something way smoother. That's probably gonna be way easier on the motors anyways. So we move to bearings. I'm too poor for bearings and also like for the exact sizes I needed here. But for people who don't know what bearings are, it's basically to reduce the friction of our like rotating thingy. So say I have this thing that's rotating, but it's gonna be touching this. You'd put like these like circles that like roll around and makes it a whole lot less friction, so much better. This is like a test thingy. It's a bit broken on top, but this kind of showed me like, oh shoot, 3D printed bearings are really good, and I don't have to throw away all my money on like actual bearings and find ones that are for like this perfect size, and that would take up a lot of space. So I don't know if it'd even work. So I changed everything in here in between the 3D printed bearings. It's so much easier to extend now. When it's de-extending, there's sometimes like a really crunchy sound, but like with like a tiny bit more strength, you can like get by, which shouldn't be like that much of a problem for the motors. I'm doing like a small example here, but hopefully I put up some kind of footage of it actually going crazy. But I don't know. I feel like so much has happened since like I last updated, but it's mostly just that. I took off all the other parts and I'm gonna reconnect it to this soon. Whenever I do that and there's more progress, I'll upload obviously. But what was I talking about? Hold on, I need a second to remember. While I was trying to remember, I said another thing to print. But I remembered. When I was originally not fully sure if this was gonna like extend like beforehand when I didn't have bearings and stuff, I was like thinking about switching to a different extending mechanism because like I started getting scared if this wasn't gonna be like a good mechanism for extending. The main reason I originally banked on this was, I don't know, it seemed pretty sturdy, basic idea. I was like confident I could like integrate it instead of doing some complex extending mechanism that could just go swoosh. But I was like started thinking like, oh, maybe I could do like slides, and slides are like complicated. Like I've worked with slides before, but I haven't really looked into them that much. So I was thinking about slides, and then I don't know, I gave like this idea and the scissor jack mechanism another try, and then I don't know, here we are. It's pretty good. I'm sticking with this. I feel like I'm gonna slowly start wrapping up the extending part, and now I'd have to wrap up this project with one last annoying thing: mounting this like onto me and like organizing all the wires and like Arduino boards, batteries everywhere, somewhere where it's just convenient. The main issue is just like figuring out how to like put this on a human body. I don't know. Something else I might as well mention just to add in here before I go. These like middle parts, I originally 3D printed them vertically like this on my 3D printer, and I don't know, I'm like so stupid for doing it, because when I originally had like the orange ones for the old design, I printed them horizontally knowing, oh well, it's gonna be stronger because of how layer lines work and stuff, and it's just gonna be better. And then when I was making these, I was like, you know what, style would be nice, so I like printed these vertically, and it was so great. And then they broke, like both ends, and it was terrible because it's like connecting to these purple ones, and the purple things hold all the like circle bead things for it to like smoothly rotate, and these are basically just caps put on to hold all the beads perfectly in place, blah blah blah. I don't know why I printed so many without like testing, but that's just like for if you 3D print stuff, and no, always print in the perfect orientation. If it has to be strong, if it has to be like cool looking, then do whatever. But yeah, anyways, have a good one. Bye bye.